Hello, everyone. I'm Wolfman Sam here with my buddy Johnny Buff Guns,
Well,
and we are Creatures of the
Creatures
Night.
of the Night.
Today we'll be talking about Silent Night, Deadly Night, both the first one and second one. Maybe we'll touch on the third one.
How far did you go with the series? Because you saw.
I went to 3. That's about as far as I got.
All right, because I only saw the
after
first
3, I clocked out.
Gotcha.
So,
right.
Yeah.
Gotcha. All right, fair enough. Yeah, definitely today, because this year marks the 40th anniversary of Silent Night, Deadly Night, when the controversial of ruining Santa Claus's image at the time, back in 1984.
Yeah, and the first one is very, very dark. I mean,
oh, it
if
is.
you guys have not seen it, go see at least the first 2.
Yeah.
And come back, of course. But if you guys have seen it, we're going to be spoiling it. Here's the spoiling section right here. Just sound the alarm. It's a spoiler section.
Like Deadpool said, spoiler alert.
Yes, spoiler alert. So the first one is about this guy, Billy, who grows up in this, like super strict Catholic kind of upbringing.
Oh yeah.
And his parents are murdered, and he's sort of taken into this orphanage.
Yeah.
And this Mother Superior kind of teaches him punishment and all this very strict upbringing.
Oh yeah.
And things spiral from there. I mean, he sees a couple having sex, and he's not sure how to react. And this kid couldn't have been more bred for being a psychopath if no matter how hard you tried. He ends up growing up to just play the thing he hates the most, the thing that murdered his parents, which was a psychopath in a Santa suit. So the logical thing would be take the kid with mental issues about Santa Claus and make him be the mall Santa.
Right.
That makes sense, right? Yes. Nothing bad is going to go wrong here. And from there, he just goes on a killing spree. And I just want to talk about the vibe of the first one. It just has this. It reminds me of the original Black Christmas, and that it's so bleak and so chilling that there are just genuine scenes that just make me feel uncomfortable. And I'm not a squeamish person by any means.
Right.
I'm not a squeamish person by any means, but it's just the vibe and just the chilling nature of the first Silent Night, Deadly Night.
Right.
But John, you want to share your thoughts?
Yeah, I think it's a movie that when it came out, it wasn't like a big hit at the time because of, people didn't like the idea of a killer Santa Claus, like ruining Santa Claus's image. And I think now in recent years, the reason why it's aged well, because people like the psychology aspect of the character Billy, about how, he was misunderstood, and that if he was, because of that traumatic experience of what he saw as a kid, is why, he's, when he sees Santa Claus, he PTSD, and he gets, scared and emotional, and also he basically loses control and a chemical imbalance of just still thinking back to that bad moment when he was a kid, what he saw as a kid.
Well, that's one of the things that when I first saw it, kind of brought me to the dance, and I think what a lot of people like about it is just the psychology of it.
Yeah.
And that it is, yes, the slasher film, but you can kind of sort of sympathize with the slasher villain to a degree.
To a degree, yeah. It's funny. The guy's name is. What's funny is the guy's name is Billy. Just think about it. That was the killer's name in Black Christmas.
Yeah, it was kind of a tribute to Black Christmas. I think I got a lot of Black Christmas vibes. And just to clarify, we are talking about the original '70s Black Christmas.
Yes,
that's the Black Christmas we're referring to.
The two remakes don't exist.
We're not referring to any kind of remake. We're referring to the original.
Wolfman Sam, what remake?
Yes, what remake?
What
There's no remake here.
And also how Billy, growing, just because of what he saw, he, like you said, he grew up in a Catholic orphanage that, anytime we saw Santa Claus, it really traumatized, and they didn't understand about
and that's one
PTSD.
of the
They
things
didn't have resources for mental health at that time.
yeah, that's one of the things they really, really build on in the first one is just the trauma that he is going through.
Yeah.
And like I said, you can sympathize with the character to a point, but then he goes off the rails and completely and
Like
totally.
when you see him, he's all grown up. He gets a job at a toy store thanks to his sister Margaret. And at first it's going okay, but when Christmas time, that's where he loses his cool and insanity.
Well, that's what I said before, Joe.
Right.
I said, who better than to make the mall Santa than the kid who grew up with issues with Santa Claus, who basically to him Santa Claus murdered his family.
Right.
Makes perfect sense.
Right. And like I said, with this not being a success, it's basically the kind of film that did not do well when it came out, but it had a cult following through blockbusters, video stores, because people found it on the horror section, oh, Silent Night, Deadly Night, maybe I'll check this out for curiosity. And and some people watch it at Christmas, and a rare occasion I watch it at Christmas, and like I said, it's a good
that's one of the movies that and Black Christmas. It's one of the untraditional Christmas movies.
Yeah, that's like how people watch Die Hard at Christmas. Why not Christmas horror movies then?
Yeah, you'd watch that along with Batman Returns and
yes, yeah, which I want to talk about later in this podcast, but that'll be later. But for now, Silent Night, Deadly Night, I also remember the character Mother Superior. Oh, I hated this character.
Well, yeah, that's the sign of a good actress, but yeah, she was probably one of the most hated character.
Oh, she was, and
and
I was like, killer.
Yeah, it kind of drives that home of you're sympathizing with Billy.
Yes.
To a degree until he just starts killing everybody.
Right. So. I met the guy who played Billy, but I don't have a photo with him. But very nice guy and friendly to me and talk to. He told me how he never would have imagined all these years later that the film would have a cult following and how people appreciate the film more now than it did when it first came, because he thought that when he played the part of the killer Santa Claus, he thought, well, that's it, I'm done. This
is my swan song. Well, that goes down to in the 80s kind of horror movies were kind of sort of still frowned upon. It wasn't until I'd say maybe the mid to late 80s horror movies kind of gained cult following, but I don't know. That's debatable. Talked about it before. The 80s was the era of Freddy and Jason.
Slashers.
And all these slasher movies, so that can kind of be contradictory depending on how you look at it.
Right. I have the movie on Blu-ray, and it has behind the scene footage, interviews with the writer, the director, and the actor who played Billy. He said when he got when he was offered the part just randomly, he said at the time his then girlfriend, they're at a restaurant eating dinner, and some guy the guy who wrote or produced it came up to say, "Are you an actor?" He said, "No." He goes, "Well, here's my card in case we may use this."
Well, that's how it starts. A lot of famous actors actually start in horror films.
True, but this guy was a very maybe did this movie, a few other things, then he basically had a different career after acting.
Yeah. A lot of times it's how it goes,
Yeah. Also, the one character I did was Sister Margaret. She was basically like a mother figure to Billy because she understood his trauma. She was basically the woman who had a lot the sense and the knowledge of understanding.
Right, she was
Billy's
the sympathetic
pain.
character.
Oh, she was.
She was sort of the guiding light for Billy, or at least she tried. She really did. I give her credit. She did try, but it's really not her fault. The problem is they did not treat this boy. No, they did not treat this boy, and he just had the worst amount of circumstances you could ever imagine.
Yeah.
Any sort of trauma villain, so to speak.
Right. What was your favorite kill of the movie?
I always liked the bow. The bow and arrow kill, I thought that was cool. the scene where he just randomly goes into somebody's house while a couple is having sex,
Yes.
and literally hangs this poor woman on antlers or something like that.
Yeah, antlers. You're right.
Yeah. I mean, we'll get to the second one, and I think the second one probably has the most comedic kills.
Right.
But the second one, unlike the first one, the second one is pure campy, pure cheesiness, pure comedy. Right. Not really taking that, seriously.
For me, my favorite kill is between when he saved for a 5 second anti-hero where he saved the woman almost being raped by one of the employees and hangs him up like with the Christmas lights and
right.
Yeah, and she also like you said the one where he puts the woman on the antlers, the reindeer.
Yeah.
Or when those guys are going sleigh ride and he chops the guy's head off.
I mean, it almost feels like almost a video game at this point.
Yeah.
Where I'm surprised that they haven't really licensed Silent Night, Deadly Night, especially considering there's stuff like Dead by Daylight,
right,
and the Friday the 13th video game. I'm surprised they haven't really licensed that out to kind of give a first person or a third person view where you're Billy and you go on a killing spree. Right. I think that's something they should do. They could even put it out on Christmas.
When I met the guy, I told him how I almost turned it off when I thought, oh no, they did it. That I thought he was going to kill this little innocent girl who didn't do anything wrong. But he even said that he did not want to do that. That wasn't the original script. But instead, he when she says I've been a good girl all year, gives her a little Christmas present. Some knife, whatever they call it.
Right.
He said
exactly.
that was his redeeming redemption moment where he did something nice for once.
Somewhat.
Yeah. I know it's kind of a weird way though. I will admit that.
Yeah, I mean, but like we've talked about with Jason, there's a certain degree, like Jason doesn't really kill kids and stuff like that, and this is sort of similar.
And yes, I know it's happened in horror movies where a kid died, but I guess I just didn't want to see that in a horror Christmas movie.
Yeah, there are certain degrees. With horror films that even in our old age, you just like I get
limits.
I get not wanting to. I get you have a villain. And I like the idea of the villain not having any moral codes and being able to go wherever he wants. Morally, but I don't know. I think we get more sensitive as we get older. If that makes sense.
True. Well, especially how I admit I don't have children of my own, but I have my niece and my nephew who I adore a lot. And I do anything for them.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I forgot to mention this on the podcast. Prior to Silent Night, Deadly Night, there was Christmas Evil from 1980, another Christmas killer Santa Claus horror movie. I'm not sure why this movie is not boycotted and protested compared to Silent Night, Deadly Night. You can debate that maybe this movie did not have a good marketing, no one knew about Christmas Evil, who knows. But, alright, I guess we could, move on to Silent Night, Deadly Night's Garbage Day!
Yeah, Silent Night, Deadly Night 2, the meme that would not die, basically. Well, I say that. I mean, you and I, we're on total opposites of the fence with this movie.
Yeah.
It is pure comedy. It is about Billy's brother coming back for revenge. And like I said, spoilers. Go watch the movie. Go have a good time. And in terms of the vibe, it is pure I would say that this is pure slapstick comedy.
Yes.
It does a 180. Now, I don't know if it was down to the budget, and we discussed this before we started. I don't know if this was down to the budget, but the first hour literally is a narration of the first by the brother, and you get the majority of the first movie. It's almost like a double feature.
Yeah.
I never understood why they did that, but I think it has something to do with the budget. Now, after watching basically the first movie, because the brother is in an asylum, and I can't get over the hamtastic acting. The acting here is just full on hamtastic, full on cartoon, Judge Doom, if The Mask was more like the comic and was a slasher, Billy. That's Ricky. Basically, he's so over the top. He leaped over 3 tops and made his own top. That's how over the top he is.
Right.
When we go into his childhood, he's the only slasher film that has a girlfriend for a bit.
That's true.
And
yeah.
things go well. They have a good relationship and all that stuff. But we realize that much like his brother Billy, Ricky is just as psychotic and kills. I'm trying to remember, like a bully of the girlfriends, like an ex.
Yeah, no, he does. Yeah, it was like a
it's been a while. But he kills him.
Recently.
He kills him. And one of my favorite scenes in cinema, her reaction to his death is full on cartoon. It's like she does the gulp kind of thing, like gulp, and she gets strangled and stuff, and it's pure cartoony stuff.
It was,
and literally Ricky at one point goes full Grand Theft Auto mode, and goes out into the streets, into the suburban neighborhood with a pistol. I don't know what model it is. I'm not really good with guns in terms of naming them. But he goes out with like a pistol or a handgun, and he starts full on Grand Theft Auto mode, shooting cars. They're blowing up, right? A guy is taking out the this is what the famous garbage day. Guy is taking out the trash and says something to his wife like, "Yeah, I'll teach you a new one." Blah blah blah. And Ricky looks at the guy and goes, "Garbage day!" Like oh, you're doing garbage day. Shoots him. He goes flying back like a cartoon. It's full on cartoon, and I love it. I know you hated it, and that's fine. But I love just how batshit this movie is in comparison to the original. The original was like serious, cold, and calculating. This is full on Saturday morning splatter. This is like Looney Tunes with gore. It's Looney Tunes with gore. The kills in this. He kills a man with an umbrella. He kills a man by shooting him in the street. He blows up a car, and just when you think it hasn't, been more cartoony enough, right? The reason why he quote unquote is in the asylum is he tried to kill himself, but there was no bullets left. And I love his reaction. No more bullets, like full on cartoony mode, right? And that's the point where he quote unquote escapes and looks for Mother Superior, which he finds Mother Superior. She had a stroke. She, all her side of her face is all messed up. Yeah, she looked like she had And this is where we get full blown cartoony Ricky also, where he's swinging the axe and he's doing like a shining thing. Yeah. Where he's destroying the door and he's going, "Oh, there you are!" And like full on cartoon. He's like, "I have a present for you!" Like just full on Looney Tunes psychopath. And even his death is like, "I have you now." He gets shot and blah blah blah. Right.
Well, compared to Bill, he killed Mother Superior. I'm like, yes.
Yeah. But that's the thing. It's a for me, I enjoy it for what it is.
Right.
Is it a good follow-up to the original? No, I really think it should have just been one. But I think it's a fun time. If you're looking for something that's completely just out of its mind, much like its protagonist,
right,
and it's totally cheesy, it's totally comedic, check out 2.
Right.
My recommendation, though, if you're familiar with 1, and you're going into 2 expecting like straight into the sequel, at least skip the first half, because the first half is literally just the narration by Ricky, and you get the majority of the first movie, so it's sort of like a double feature with narration.
Yeah. Well, as much as I did like, the idea, okay, we're focusing on his brother, but the first half, it's like the flashbacks. I could have just popped in the first movie and watched that.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying is like, I don't know if it was down to the budget or they wanted to do this. I have a feeling every time I watch it, I have a feeling it was down to budget. I have a feeling that they were short on budget. They were like, okay, we have in reality, in IRL, they were like, okay, we have license for this room. We'll do the shrink scenes in the room, and we have the footage for the first movie. So why don't we do this narration thing? And there you go. We have the first hour, or the first half.
Right.
So that's what I've always felt about the beginning of the second one. Other than that, I enjoyed it.
But I agree, very, very campy, cartoony, very over the top. Especially, like I said before, I saw this movie. Everyone knows the garbage day.
Yeah, it's been meme. If you guys don't know about it, it's been memed to absolute heck. The garbage day thing has been memed to heck. So even people that maybe aren't familiar with Silent Night, Deadly Night, maybe know about the second one, the garbage day. We're not sure.
Yeah, and also like being at the asylum, I'm thinking to myself, yeah, I've seen this done better, where the psycho killer talks.
Yeah, obviously it's been done better, but I don't know. There's just something very you can tell the actor who played Ricky is just having a absolute ball.
Yes.
Like he's going full cartoony Looney Tunes with that,
right?
And just with his eyebrows going everywhere, every which way. Even if you guys want to watch it ironically, just for like a so bad it's good kind of film, it could be good for that too.
Right.
But I unironically love it. I think it's just a good campy ride.
Right. I don't think I will be rewatching it anytime soon in the near future, but that's just me. I'll definitely go back to the first one. Well, the first one, no masterpiece. At least it had some solidness to it, to a degree.
Yeah, it was consistent.
Yeah.
It was kind of consistent.
Yeah, I guess I can see why people enjoy it for the campiness of the second one, where it's not supposed to be serious, meant to be.
The difference is night and day. Like if you're going in the second one looking for more of the first one, you'll get the first one, but you'll get the first one in a rerun.
Right.
And then you'll get campy galore, cheese fondue type movie.
Yeah, one thing I forgot to mention about the first movie, believe it or not, Sam Raimi was offered to direct Silent Night, Deadly Night.
I could see that.
I could
definitely see that. It would have been around the same time as Evil Dead.
Evil Dead, yeah, but the only question is, would this have ruined his reputation, or would he still have made Evil Dead and other things that came after that?
What could have been?
Yeah, exactly. It's I could have seen Sam Raimi directing the first one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially he was in
you want to touch upon? Have you seen the third one?
I haven't. So
okay. So we'll skip that. There's not really much. There's not really much you need to know.
Right. I think. I do know that Mickey Rooney was in it. What's funny is he protested the first movie, and yet he was in a later sequel. I guess he really needed the paycheck that badly.
Yeah, the fourth one I know nothing about anyway. So we'll talk about.
I did see the remake.
The first two, because there's not really much you need to know about the third one. Maybe some other time we'll talk about the third and fourth one.
Right. I did see the 2012 remake. It was not great. It was not that bad. I mean, it wasn't one of the greatest remakes, but it was like, okay, they at least tried. Where they basically
I have to catch it. I have to catch it myself. I haven't.
Yeah, it has a good all-star cast. It's got Malcolm McDowell was in it, and Donald Logue, Jamie King, and
nice.
Good all-star cast of character actors. And,
it's got a very interesting cast.
Yeah, it does. It's
nice.
But here's sort of like this is a big spoiler right here, but it's basically it's like a Halloween vibe. There's no background on the kill. Why this guy is dressed as Santa Claus going around?
Right. So they changed it up a little.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, that's not bad. I'm like, okay, I'm okay with that. Good change up there.
So that might be definitely a watch.
And here's this is gonna be a little bit of a naughty joke right again. This is also not a big spoiler when The couple are trying to have sex. She goes, Santa Claus is coming to town. Yeah.
Yeah, you know the writer had a ball with that.
Yes, of course.
This is so good. Oh my god!
When I saw
I'm
that,
the greatest writer ever.
Yeah, I just couldn't stop laughing at that joke. Like, oh my, you'll never hear that.
Still not still not the raunchiest line I've ever heard
No,
in a movie. But you can tell the writer was like, "This is gonna be fun."
Yeah, the remake, The Silent Daily, not great, but solid, decent, okay, just okay. They tried. I give them credit. They did try.
Alrighty.
Yeah. Yeah.